Welcome to the channel. Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Hey, if you ain't heard, okay, YouTube is being censored in Australia. Let me tell you about that. We're gonna do a quick little live, man. I know Thursday night football. People be trying to get to that Thursday night football. I'm trying to get to the Thursday night football. The Cowboys is it has so much drama, so many twists and turns, and it's always good television to see what the Cowboys are going to do on Thursday night. But we talking about tonight. We are talking about. I had heard some stuff on YouTube today, in the news rather, saying that Australia is banning people under 16 from YouTube. Now, it's a lot of ways that could be looked at, you know. It's a ton of ways that could be looked at, censorship. For some reason, censorship is like people that try to censor everybody is using that as a solution to a problem. We got bigger problems in this world than trying to censor somebody and shut people up. And for some reason, you got different governments around the world. Hey, people always complain about what's going on in the United States, and they never seem to really understand the type of things that go on in other countries, you know. So there's a lot of things on YouTube. I myself have a underage daughter, and always monitoring what she's doing, always making sure that nobody is in the comments trying to do this or do that, because you got some pretty sick people out here. But do I feel like censorship is what needs to be going on now? I don't believe that, because YouTube, it is, for whatever social media period, but especially YouTube, it's a lot of learning. It's a lot of things that you can go on YouTube and instantly be like, how to do this, how to do that. YouTube is about solving problems, teaching, learning stuff, and everything. So a lot of things get learned and taught on YouTube, most of which I believe is good. I to be honest, I don't know about looking up something bad. I don't even know if people post things about how to do something in the wrong direction. So Australia is censoring um Australia is censoring 16 and under. So we're gonna go to Chat GPT and ask it about tell me about the new censorship law going on in Australia and who it affects and when does it go into law. Also, tell me whether or not the social media platforms are appealing the decision. Explain it to me like I am 5 years old. And we're gonna see what they say, man. Cause appreciate the one person in the chat. Thank you. Thank you for tapping in wherever you may be. You could be a lot of places, but you are here with me. All right. So while the chat is thinking, man, where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Where you from? We trying to do this live thing on Thursday night a little different ways. I gotta tinker and move around and do this and do that to try to figure out what is working. So tonight I'm talking about that particular topic while Chat GPT is giving us the content. It is thinking, thinking, thinking. It is thinking. Appreciate you tapping in. It is Thursday night. We usually do this every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you got something that you want to sell, you got a topic to talk about, if you got a story to tell, man, hit me up on Instagram at XconMedia. Leave me a message, and if everything checks out, you can come on my show, talk about your store, promote your products. Everything is free right now because obviously if we blow up, we get big, you know what I'm saying, it'll be a price on it. But right now you can do it for the lowski woski, all right, for free. So if you're trying to promote your products, your services, whatever you got going on, if you got a story to tell, hey, hit me on Instagram at XconMedia, and we can talk about it and see what's going on. All right, here we go. Chat GPT is about to tell us about what is going on down under with our friends down under in Australia. Oh, it's got a lot, like it's still typing up. It's still typing up. It is typing, typing, typing. It is typing, typing. It is still going. Oh, this should be good. This should break down exactly what's going on in Australia and let us know, can this come to the US? I mean, anybody out there that got underage kids, what do you think about this level of censorship? By the way, what they were saying is that kids will still be able to access it through a web browser. They just won't be able to like, comment, or anything like that. And anybody that they detect is under the age of 16, they will immediately take them off. Also, let me see. Also, okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Let's listen in to Chat GPT's explanation of what is going on down under. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining, as we are live every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. We switching it up a little bit, trying something different. We're going live this way. Next week it might be a mobile live. Who knows?
Think of this like a story about a new house rule for the whole country. Number one, what is this censorship law in simple words? Imagine the internet is a big playground. On this playground, there are special big kids areas: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, X, Twitter, Reddit, Threads, Twitch, Kick, and some others. Wikipedia Australia has made a new rule that says, open quote, kids under 16 are not allowed to have their own passes to these big kids areas. Close quote. Those passes are accounts. So, if you are under 16, you are not supposed to have an account on those big apps anymore. The rule is part of a law called the Online Safety Amendment, Social Media Minimum Age, Act 2024. Wikipedia grown-ups who made the rule say it's to protect kids' mental health and stop them from seeing too much bad stuff online. Reuters. Some people love this and say this will keep kids safe. Other people hate it and say this is censorship and takes away young people's voices. 2. Who does it affect? Kids. All kids in Australia who are under 16, their accounts on apps like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, X, Facebook, Reddit, Threads, Twitch, Kick will be deleted or frozen. They can still look at some stuff without an account, logged out view, but they can't post, comment, like, follow people, get a personalized feed that learns what they like. ABC parents. Parents do not get in trouble under the law. The rule doesn't punish kids or families. It only punishes the companies if they don't follow it. Informs blog. Social media companies. The big platforms must find and remove under 16 accounts. Stop new under 16 accounts being made. Send monthly reports to the regulator, the e-safety commissioner, saying how many kids' accounts they removed for at least 6 months. AP News, if they don't take reasonable steps, they can be fined up to about $50 million each. AP News. So in kids speak, open quote, kids feel it in their phones, companies feel it in their wallets. Parents don't get fined by this law. Close quote. Pair 3. When does it actually start? The law was passed already, but the start date is, open quote, 10th of December 2025, close quote. From that day, platforms must start shutting down accounts of users they think are under 16 in Australia. Some companies, Meta, TikTok, YouTube, etc., get ready. Reuters. There is also a separate but related rule starting 27th of December 2025 that makes search engines blur porn and violent images for people under 18 or not logged in and send some self-harm searches to helplines. News.com.au. 4. Are the social media platforms appealing or fighting this? Short answer, they fought it politically. They are complying in practice. The main court case right now is from teenagers and a civil liberties group, not the platforms themselves. In more detail, but still kid-friendly, one, big tech companies complained a lot while the law was being made. Meta, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Google all criticized the law and the age-checking idea, saying it's rushed and might not work. Reuters, YouTube's owner Google even threatened to sue if YouTube was included, arguing, YouTube is video, not social media. SBS Australia too. The government basically said, we're not scared of you, and included YouTube anyway. ABC 3. Right now, the main legal challenge is from two 15-year-olds, backed by a group called the Digital Freedom Project, who have gone to the High Court, Australia's top court. They say the ban hurts teenagers' freedom to talk about politics and government online. The High Court has agreed to hear the case, but let the law start on the 10th of December anyway. ABC 4. Have the platforms themselves appealed the law in court? Based on what's public as of 4th of December 2025, Google YouTube threatened a lawsuit, but there is no public record yet that they actually filed one and got it to the High Court. The official High Court case that exists is led by the Teens Digital Freedom Project, not by Meta, TikTok, Google, etc. Wikipedia. Meanwhile, companies are going ahead and obeying the law by starting to block and remove under 16 accounts. Reuters. So if I put it super simply, open quote, the companies shouted, we hate this, and one said, we might sue. But the only big court fight actually running right now is from teens and a rights group, not from the apps themselves, and the apps are already starting to follow the rule, close quote. 5. Quick grown-up summary, no baby talk. The new censorship law you're hearing about is the Online Safety Amendment Social Media Minimum Age Act 2024, which amends the Online Safety Act 2021 to create a hard 16-plus minimum age for accounts on specified social media platforms. Wikipedia. It comes into force on 10th of December 2025. From that date, platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, Snapchat, Reddit, Threads, Twitch, and Kick must take reasonable steps to prevent Australians under 16 from having accounts or face fines up to $50 million and regulatory action by the eSafety Commissioner. Wikipedia. The law does not criminalize children or parents. Only platforms can be in breach. Kids can still access some content logged out, but lose interactive, account-based use. UNICEF Australia. Big platforms opposed the law and lobbied against it. Google even threatened litigation over YouTube's inclusion. But as of now, the main constitutional challenge in the High Court is brought by two 15-year-olds backed by the Digital Freedom Project, not by the platforms themselves. The court has agreed to hear the case, but is allowing the law to commence. ABC. In parallel, new age-restricted material rules will require search engines to blur pornographic and violent content for under 18s or logged out users from 27th of December 2025, which is another layer people refer to when they talk about censorship. News.com.au. If you want, next we can walk through a concrete example like, what actually happens to a 15-year-old's TikTok or YouTube account on December 10? And I can spell that out step by step. Reuters.
Wow. So that's yeah. Let's see. Let's see what happens. What happens to a 15-year-old's account. If man, see, here's the thing. Here's the problem with all this. It starts small and is one of those things that gets progressively bigger. You give them just a little bit of rope and they're gonna want more. They're gonna want more. They're gonna want more rope. Now what they're going to want is to do this from country to country. Then they're going to want you to upload your IDs. So once you have to upload your IDs and prove who you are, that is going to become a problem. A lot of people, a lot of people have a problem with that. Because now can you truly be anonymous? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people want to be anonymous when dealing with the internet for safety concerns, for obvious safety concerns. So let's see what Chat GPT got to say about what happens to a 15-year-old's account.
Okay, let's do the what actually happens walkthrough. We'll pretend we're talking about a 15-year-old in Australia with a TikTok and a YouTube account. Head up 1. Before the law starts, before 10th of December 2025, you're 15 in Australia and you already have TikTok and YouTube accounts. You post videos, leave comments, like stuff, follow people, etc. Right now, the new rule isn't turned on yet, but the apps know the law is coming and they're already building tools to check ages and block under 16s because they'll get huge fines if they don't. You might start seeing things like pop-ups asking you to confirm your age, messages in your feed like, we're updating our safety rules in Australia. And 2, the switch day, 10th of December, 2025. Think of this day like someone flips a big red on switch for the new rule. From this day, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, etc. must not let under 16s have accounts in Australia. If they don't try hard enough, the Australian government can hit them with massive fines, tens of millions of dollars. So what happens to our 15-year-old? A, the app checks.
At the end of the day, it's all about the money. That's all they want. They want that money. They don't even care about the kids as much as they want to try to make it seem. They just want to hit these apps, make them break bread, hit them in the books.
Are you old enough? The platforms will use a mix of things. For example, the age you typed when you signed up, how you respond to new age check screens, possibly other tech, like ID checks or third-party age verification services. The exact method can vary by platform. If they think you are under 16 or you admit you're 15, then B, the account gets blocked or removed. For that 15-year-old, their TikTok and YouTube accounts are disabled for logged-in use. That means you can't post new videos, you can't comment, you can't like or follow, you can't get a personalized For You feed or subscriptions feed. The app may log you out and show a message like, open quote, because of Australian law, you need to be 16 or older to have an account, close quote. The exact wording will be different on each platform, but the idea is the same. No account if you're under 16. Number 3, can the 15-year-old still see anything? Yes, in a limited way. Most of these platforms have a logged out mode. You can watch some videos as a guest. You don't have a profile. You don't interact. No comments, no likes, no DMs, no posting. The app doesn't follow your interests in the same way. No full personalized feed. So our 15-year-old can still view some content, but is basically turned into a silent watcher with no voice. That's why a lot of people are calling this censorship, because kids under 16 lose their ability to speak and participate on these platforms, not just their ability to see stuff. Number 4, what if they lie about their age? Let's keep it real. Some kids will try. If they say, I'm 18 or I'm 20, if the platform can't prove otherwise, the account might stay. But the law says the companies must take reasonable steps to stop under 16s. That means they're under pressure to add stronger checks, ID, facial age estimation, etc., kill suspicious accounts that look like they belong to kids. So over time, it becomes harder and riskier to lie. And if the regulator thinks a platform is being lazy, it can investigate, fine them, order them to tighten the system. The target of punishment is the company, not the kid. Number 5, what about parents saying it's okay? For under 16s, even if a parent says, I give permission, the core idea of this law is, open quote, no account if you're under 16 on these defined social media services, close quote. Parents don't get fined or charged under this law, but their kid's account can still be removed. The platform is the one on the hook if they let under 16s have accounts. Number 6. So in pure 5-year-old terms, here's the whole thing as simply as possible. The Australian government made a big new rule. It says, open quote, if you are younger than 16, you are not allowed to have your own login on big social apps. Close quote. On 10th of December 2025, that rule turns on. The apps then have to check ages, kick out under 16 accounts, stop new under 16 accounts being created. Kids don't get in trouble with the police, but their accounts disappear, and the apps can get in huge trouble with money fines if they don't do enough. The result for a 15-year-old, no more posting, no more commenting, no more DMs or creator life, maybe still watching some stuff without an account, but only as a quiet guest. If you want to go a level deeper, I can break down how this interacts with VPNs, alt accounts, and anonymous viewing. Still in plain language, just with more real-world edge cases.
Well, okay. So that was a pretty good breakdown. Just another one of those things where censorship, listen, they doing everything to silence, even as far as going as silencing young people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, again, these politicians work for us. That's what y'all not getting. We elect them to do a job for us. So if that's the people that they put in place in Australia, hey, just don't let that hit the US, man. You know. But again, at the end of the day, it's all about the money. These people don't really care about these kids like that, because if they did, they'll be taking other steps and not trying to find and trying to go after the money, man. But hey, what do you think? Comment below, and thank you for tapping in.